With summer holidays come less tournaments and less results. Hello and welcome everyone to this month's competitive wrap-up, where we'll be taking a look at the competitive Vanguard results from mid-June to mid-July. Now sadly there have not been that many tournaments apart from Springfest stuff that I'm able to report the results on, simply because a lot of people are on holiday already, and so are tournament organizers, and generally when there's not many people that can show up, tournament organizers aren't that inclined to start tournaments either, though sometimes it can be the opposite. But anyway, we don't have that many results from Japan apart from Fighters Road, which uses the G regulation, so the only VGCS result is the Oita VGCS, and we don't even have deck lists yet because it only happened yesterday, or well, 2 days ago from the day of this uploading. But the first place of that tournament was a 70s deck, second place was Time Leap, third place was Kagero, and the fourth place was Sanctuary Dragon. If we get deck lists by the time the next competitive wrap-up would come out, then I'll try to include them in that. And then there was another unofficial Japanese tournament called the Hachioji Cup, and it was not VGCS, but it's the same level, but we don't know the results of that just yet because the tournament only happened on Sunday, which was 2 days from this video uploading, and therefore we haven't gotten all the results processed yet, so when they're processed I'll try to include them in the next one. So while we're still looking at Japanese results, let's look at the 3 Fighters Road results that we got. So finally we're kind of going away from team tournaments and slowly going on to the single tournaments, which are definitely quite fun to look at. So the first Fighters Road we're going to be taking a look at is the Sendai one. And now the winner of the Sendai Fighters Road is Tetsuya Yoshida, at least that's what the website tells me, and they played Sanctuary Guard, and it looks like they only play 1 Dragon and 4 Arcs, so that's quite interesting. Usually you see a lot of people play more of the Dragon and less of the Arc, so that's their build. And the second place is Yuji Sugiura, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, who played Diablo with 1 Phantom Blaster Dragon in there, the Break Ride, and also 1 Blaster Dark and 1 Blaster Rapier, which is quite an interesting choice of deck building. Then in third place we have Nightrose, because 70s is not playable in G regulation, and the pilot of this deck is Masashi Fueki, if I'm, again, I hope I don't butcher these names too much. And in fourth place we have another Sanctuary Guard list with 8 grade 3s for once, which is piloted by Naoki Fumagai. So these are the results from the Sendai Fighters Road. The next Fighters Road we'll look at is the Sapporo one, and the winner of this one was Kato Yuya. He won with a Time Leap list, 7 grade 3s, 2 square 1 dragons. It's the pretty standard list we've seen in Japan for quite some time now, 3 TikToks, and it's fairly standard, I guess. Next up we have Sanctuary Guard in second place. This one is a lot more standard. And then in third place we have another Time Leap deck. This one was piloted by Junya Murai. And then we have a interesting Dragonic Blademaster list in fourth place, which runs that 1 Blaze grade 3 that gets plus 5k power. So, and this one was piloted by Kenji Yamada. So, interesting list. Overlord is not as playable in G regulation as it is in standard, obviously. So some people have chosen to adapt Blademaster, and as we can see, it's even possible to top with it. And the final Fighters Road we'll be looking at today is that of Osaka. And the winner of this one was Haruka Sawada with an interesting Messiah slash Deletor list. So you'll see it on your screen right now. It's quite interesting. So it's got a little bit of Deletors and quite a bit of Messiahs, obviously, but interesting list. It does expand your G-Zone options quite a bit. And in second place we have Time Leap with a little splash of Cornerfang Tiger, which was run by Naoya Sakaguchi, my bad. And then on top of that in third place we have Ako Hiroyukiro, who ran the Legend with a Cross because the end is not playable in G regulation, but that does give you the option to use the Ace and also to use Defeat Flare, so it's definitely worth to try that out. And then in fourth place we have a interesting Magia list. We haven't seen Magia top that much, but it does top every now and then, so again, it's always interesting to look at Magia lists. So this one's running 4 Lunatics and just 2 Mephistos, and 2 Harrys even, so it is a pretty interesting list, and that is the last piece of results from Fighters Road. And now let's look at Team League, and the number of Team League results is definitely dropping down because most of them have already concluded, and now we're just going to be waiting for the finals of each region. I believe Asia's already happened, and now we've just got Europe's and America's in the next week or even this weekend. So The first Team League results batch that we're going to be looking at is the one from California, and the winning team of this Springfest was Team Clown Fiesta, and their lineup was Freezeray in player A spot, Sanctuary in the player B spot, and Nociel / Gavrail in the player C spot. In second place in California, we had Team No Guard at 4. In their player A spot, they had TSD Blaster. In player B, they had Chaos, and in player C was a Revenger player. And in third place for the Californian Springfest was Team No Crit No Guard. In the player A spot was a Sanctuary Guard player. In player B slot, there was a Nociel player, and in player C spot there was a Chat Noir / Tester Fox player. Moving on to the next Springfest is the one in New York, and the winner of this Springfest was Team Fluffy Panda. In the player A spot they had Altmile, which is definitely something we haven't seen in quite a while actually, since some of the old Japanese results. And then in player B ran Time Leap, and player C ran a mix of Gavrail and Nociel with a bit more focus on Gavrail. In second place in New York we had Team Vongola. In the player A spot there was Legend with the Great. In the player B spot there was Chaos, and in player C was Diablo. And in third place of New York we had Team Shark. Player A had Messiahs, player B had a DRobos list, and player C ran Sanctuary Guard Dragon. Jumping across the ocean onto the English results, which have not been posted before this. First off, we'll look at Cardiff. So the winning team of the Cardiff Team League was Team Road Trip Disaster, and if you're interested in their report of the tournament, I'll have a link in the description so you can check that out, and they'll also be talking about it on their channel, I believe, and maybe even doing vlogs on Continentals, but at least that's what I've been told, so do check that out. Anyway, in the player A spot was a machining list, which we do not see that much. In the player B spot was a Ripple deck, which we also don't see that much, and in player C was Overlord. Second place Cardiff was Team Phantom Bullet. Their team lineup was Gurgwit in the player A spot, Blue Waves in the player B spot, and 7 Seas in the player C spot. And in third place was Team Time Leap Academy. In the player A spot they had, not a big surprise, Time Leap. In the player B spot they had Diablo / Revengers, and in the player C spot they had Chat Noir with Guru Tiger. And the final piece of results that we'll be looking at today is the Huddersfield Team League results, where the winning team was Team Maximum Crit Trio. Player A ran Gavrail, player B ran Time Leap, and player C ran a mix of Dauntless and the Cross. In second place was Team Golden Sun. The first player of that team ran Time Leap, second player ran Nociel, and the third player ran Amon, which we haven't seen that much either. And in third place of the Huddersfield Team League was Team Illuminati, which had a lineup of Overlord in player A, Chaos in player B, and Nociel in player C. So that kind of wraps up the results for this last month. There have not been as many as we've had in some past tournaments, and not that many actually deck lists to look at, sadly, because I never show off the Team League ones, but because there'd be too much to put on the screen at once. So I'm actually looking forward to when Worlds begins, when the World Qualifiers begin, because then I can actually put the deck lists from the World Qualifiers on the screen for you to look at. And also because for Team League I just say the team names of each of the winners, I don't actually go over the name of each player. When Worlds comes around I'll actually say the names of the players like I was doing with Fighters Road now, so I hope you are looking forward to that, even though it is a rather minor change. So that's pretty much it for me today. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.